Second.
Those in favor? Then we have bond request number 27, application number 6, Michigan Road and Crestwood Drive traffic signal. Feedback on that, Tony?
Again, that's everything that was finished on that project this month.
I'll make a motion, we approve that.
That's $41,008. Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? And then, like we already mentioned, the bond request number 9.
Yeah, Crystal Beach, that's the final.
$369,913.68.
I'll make a motion to approve that one.
Second.
Those in favor? Financial report?
Yes, you'll see the financial report. I do want to make a couple of comments and want to thank our new clerk treasurer for helping us over the last 2 or 3 weeks. We do have now if you look on page 4, you'll see that each allocation area has its own accounts established. And now we're reporting the revenue per allocation area for the June settlement. We'll have an allocation area settlement in December, so that you'll see that. So you'll start to see the revenue increasing in some of those areas specifically. You'll start to see, for example, Madison Plaza will start to increase next year. Those payments start to come in, the assessments, and then the Redevelopment allocation area will start to come in next year as well. So you'll start to see some of those numbers. I would also say that we are ahead of projections. If you look down on page number 7, you'll note that we're ahead of estimate so far for the first half of the year in terms of income. So estimated just shy of $2.1 million. Collecting very close to 1.65. So we're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I was just mentioning on the TIF revenue collections, year over year, we're going to be up about $400,000 a year in higher collections because of the investments we've been making here relative to just a couple of years ago. And then, of course, if you take the $400,000 and you look at how we're leveraging those dollars, in some instances it's 5 to 1, 10 to 1. That's going to make a substantial difference in our future investments. And we talk a lot about our capital planning, which is an important element of our redevelopment commission's goals and objectives. We have a lot of opportunity ahead of us over the next 3 years, and so we're going to continue to refine that capital plan as well as the financing plan, as we've noted in here, the TIF bond that we've talked about now for a couple of years. That'll be an important element to not only go along with the additional revenue we're creating with our investments across the TIF district, but for the future investments we're going to be making in conjunction with the TIF bond too. So more to come on that, but the plan is working with regards to the placemaking, the quality of life, the economic development, the private investment, and the next 3 years are going to be pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, if you think about all the investment in Culver's, Sunrise Crossing, Green Car Wash, a number of other facilities that have come in, those all happen at the tax rolls in terms of creating additional revenue and tax revenue. So that stuff's we'll start to roll in here in 2025 and we'll again show increased revenue. So thank you all again for supporting this process and those projects.
And this is just based off of those improvements. It doesn't include the wages.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
The additional capital investment in manufacturing that's happening here, the growth in wages that's being collected, everything's heading in the right trajectory.
Yeah.
What's the PACE funding? Is that a little behind schedule?
Um,
As far as
the
this
PACE
year compared?
The PACE program isn't behind schedule. Just went over we have a PACE meeting tonight, and I was just describing to Tony how honestly proud I am of the applications that are there tonight. When we modified that program, areas so we could attract and incentivize capital to go in the neighborhoods in which it's needed the most. And that has worked really, really well. Tonight's meeting has absolutely some phenomenal projects in them that are truly, dilapidated, dangerous structures. Those are areas that we're also trying to address as part of our blight elimination strategy. It really is, after tonight's meeting, we will have exhausted all of the funding for the year. I mentioned to Tony is we're not behind on the program, we just haven't asked for the redevelopment commission's portion yet, but we will ask for the full amount at the next meeting. So, and then when we do that, I'll give you some statistics about the leveraging. Like tonight's, it's probably at least 10 to 1 leveraging on tonight's agenda, which is phenomenal. We've been averaging about 5 to 1, so if we put in $300,000, we're creating at least $1.5 million worth of private investment. That's just the RDC's portion. The city puts in a significant amount. The county contributes to that as well too. So when we come back at the next meeting, we'll share with you the statistics financially about how much investment that program has attracted and what the leveraging ratio was for the redevelopment commission's investment in that program. Because it's one of the best things that we do, candidly, that has the biggest impact.
In the past, we have come back for some additional dollars potentially. We did do that in 2023. We increased our amount in that year. We've tried to leverage that out with all the other projects at the number that was in our grant that was approved. So, but that will be the full figure for us at the next meeting.
I just didn't know timing wise, for some reason I thought that we paid that out in years past prior to August, but maybe.
We had done it in different draw schedules. It's a cash flow thing, so as those projects ramp up, then the draws start happening. And on the PACE program funding itself, we only do 2 draws to the actual recipient of the grants, and that is a 50% midway and then a final. And so the cash flow management of it is just working out where we've been able to absorb the draw schedule without having to get the RDC money. But now we're toward the tail end of the 20. We're finishing up 2023 projects, and then really far along in 2024 projects now. So we'll ask for the full amount next time.
Any other questions or comments about the financial report?
Nope.
Old business?
Yes, as we have mentioned in the past, we have hired Club 720 to do another housing study for the city to understand more single family needs. We've had a couple video calls
striking the last one we just approved for 30,000?
That gets approved,
Okay,
and that's
this is an
included in this
addition.
payment.
Okay, just making sure.
So
So-
the 30,000 is an additive to the contract, and this last payment includes that 30,000.
286,629.02. I'll make that motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Thank you again for understanding that section. At this time, I'd like to introduce Kim Nyberg of the Public Arts Commission to talk to you and give you an update on the gateway sculpture and tomato request.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going, Kim?
Good, fine, thank you. I'm Kim Nyberg with the Public Arts Commission, and I'm going to read the request. I don't know if you're up to date on that project, the Gateway Sculpture Project. So I'm just going to read the request. The City of Madison Public Arts Commission would like to request an advance of $25,000 from the Madison Redevelopment Commission to continue moving the Bridge Gateway Sculpture Project forward. This important public arts project has several funding components, both public and private, and several approval processes that the commission is working through. The Gateway Sculpture Project is moving forward, artists selected, designs approved, grants and fundraising in the works, and the artist is moving forward into the next phase of fabrication. As in these types of projects, timing is not always perfect. We are working swiftly with the artist and her team. We are also waiting for the final NDOT maintenance agreement required for the State of Indiana Destination Development Grant. The grant of $25,000 has been awarded but not received due to the delay in the maintenance agreement approval. So we would like to request from the Redevelopment Commission an advance for $25,000 to assure that this project stays on track and that we can continue with the fabrication of the project. We are requesting this $25,000. That is our annual gift to the Public Arts Commission, and we would just like to ask that in advance so we can cover this and not lose a moment in this project. And if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I'll make a motion that we approve that $25,000 so the project can move forward.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Just have a question on that. What is the timing of estimated completion?
We're hoping by the end of the year.
End of the year.
Yes, and they are ready. They are positioned for fabrication. We are really excited about it, so.
I would just say that 2024 has been pretty remarkable already. That would be icing on the cake to have the gateway completed with the public art by the end of the year too. I mean, let's keep the bar raised as high as possible.
We're trying.
2025 is going to be awesome too, by the way, but it's been a great year.
And thank you, I didn't say this, but thank you for developing the Public Arts Commission. A city of this size, to have a commission and to have all of this movement toward culture and art and public arts is amazing. And, you know, I could go on and on about it, but thank you for
How far
doing
along
this
is
for
the
us.
How far along is the Tony Steinhardt statue?
Well,
Was that a secret?
Not approved.
Bobblehead.
Not a
I was
bobblehead,
gonna
he's just
say,
waving.
We've got a
Huh?
couple
He's
of,
waving.
one or two maybe to go, you know?
Yeah.
But it's in the works, I'm sure.
All kinds of fun opportunities here.
Do we
Thank
know
you
that
so
one.
much.
Do we know what the sculpture is, or can we share that, or is it a secret?
Oh yeah, there was a public contest for it.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't recall. I remember
I
there
am
was.
happy to share.
Where is it? Where's the model?
They took it back to work with the family.
Oh,
We do
okay.
have
We had a
great-
We have
model.
great pictures.
We have great photographs. So we asked for, we did a call for art. We had 19 or more submissions. 3 of the submissions were out of the country. And we were looking for an Indiana artist, someone who was born and raised here or had some tie to Indiana. Well, we found this wonderful person. Her name is Beverly Stucker Precious, and it's Precious Design Studio. She's out of South Bend. Tucker, Precious Designs. And her idea for this is called River's Edge. And River's Edge, the concept was, the artist concept was to really kind of bring the old and new together. And her idea was really great about Madison being really two cities. It's the historic city on the river, but it's also the really progressive city. And those two are really part of what she came up with. And the concept, and I don't do it justice. I'm not going to present her artist statement, but we felt that this piece kind of bridged the two. It was kind of one of this rusticated piece, but then it's kind of shiny and polished, and it just looked really great. What I love about this piece more than anything is the glass. It has reflective glass in the middle, and it changes just like the river changes every day. The river's brown one day, green the other, blue the next. The glass changes with the weather, so you will be able. It will be maybe pink one day, purple one day, green. It's really interesting. So I think it's a good choice. I think what it does, it brings the historical piece, and it ties it with where we're going as a progressive city. So you can add more. You know much about it. I really wish I would have brought that piece of glass. The model.
Display here for a bit, and it's very unique. And I sat in on all of the presentations by the finalists, and this was a great piece of art that is, when you enter across that bridge already, right, we've transformed it from what it was, but this is just another element that describes the community they're about to enter into.
And it also, the design also includes a public piece where you'll be able to walk up to it with a new sidewalk put in behind it, a little high, and see it up close, and experience it, different mode of transportation.
Cool.
Instead of being, so she had to take pedestrian scale as well as car scale.
It really is a new park. It really is. So thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
No more new business, move on to city managers.
I'll just give a brief update, which is you see your investments in action when you drive around town every day. Joe, I apologize because you've seen Clifty Drive come to life in very different ways, and
Wow.
but over the course of the year, you're going to also see that corridor start transforming, and who knows what it's going to be like in 10 years, but I can tell you it's going to be a much better corridor than it is now because of the investments we're making there. Drive around town, you'll see it happening everywhere. The housing initiative will begin on the eastern part of the Sunrise Crossing parcel that we own and are under contract with the developer of that. Hopefully we'll break ground by September-ish. That's going to be phenomenal. It's been 30 years since there's been a major housing constructed in the city. And then the gateways we talked about there. Hopefully y'all had a chance to come down for the Ohio Theater. Marquee lighting and the Main Street investments that we're all making, but all kinds of work happening across our community because of the support and investments from the Redevelopment Commission.
Dollar General Store, UG Market, September, hopefully by Labor Day. If you drive down there today, you'll see new roof, windows and other openings have been filled in.
The facade
Drywall
under
was-
construction.
Drywall was delivered, so they're making great progress, and so looking for September 1st.
That corridor is really emerging the way we have envisioned. It looks so much better. It's attracting other investment. As you know, the Vitchage Lanes will be under construction soon. Actually, the renovation or the demolition's happening there at the corner of Jefferson and 2nd Street. That's going to become one of the anchors. The old Cinnamon Tea Room is undergoing a massive restoration, and then all of that's going to fill in with our investments connecting Main Street to the river and right there in the middle of the Cultural Arts District. So really proud of the investments we're making and the impact they're having, but also the investments they're attracting is the critical thing of what we're doing. first round already. You know, we developed a Destination Madison plan, so we're continuing with it. Part of it was funded with Ready One. So now we're submitting projects that we had identified in Destination Madison as Ready Two, and hopefully that will just continue to elevate the placemaking investments that are happening all across town. We have one Ready project that hasn't kind of broken ground yet. That's probably been one of the hardest ones. You want to describe that?
Yeah, the final ready project we've allocated dollars to is the Madison Inland Connector Trail Phase One, which is the piece from the current Heritage Trail to Clifton Falls State Park. That is a fairly complicated terrain through there. If you've looked, we're in the final stages of construction documents and review process by the Department of Natural Resources. So hopefully here in the next 30 to 45 days, we'll be putting that out for bid for that project, and that'll be completed by this time in 2025. And what's good about that is, and American will talk about this a little bit more, some West End improvements that we are now trying to leverage and complete so that the Main Street sidewalks will connect to that trail just to the west of the bridge there across Crooked Creek. So the bridge has enough width that we can have some pedestrian rapidity across it, and that's currently under design as well. And that will be a single family project. That will be a project that will be done in conjunction with some other West End improvements.
Yeah, hopefully you guys are happy with the progress.
Absolutely.
Would love to hear feedback if there's certain directions you'd like to see us go. Give that some thought. But when we talk about redevelopment, we're talking about improvements to our community for housing, infrastructure, roads, sidewalks, parks, public art, market, for example, quality of life type initiatives. So I think we're hitting it really on all facets of what our community needs. More work to be done, and of course on the city side, we're doing a tremendous amount of infrastructure investments there as well. We're wrapping up our safe drinking water project that's been underway for the last 2 years. We're midstream into our solid waste modernization plan, and then we have an enormous amount. We're concurrently doing 2 CCMG projects, and those are major road initiatives, Hilltop and downtown, and then just a lot of planning for the next 5 years.
Have you been to Crystal Beach?
Yes.
Oh my
My
God.
wife goes there 5 days a week.
Yeah.
What can I say? We
Yeah.
are, we pre-ordered our chemicals for the year. I will tell you, based upon current, we
Current attendance.
the current attendances in the numbers that we were never expecting. We now have food being delivered twice a week because the concession stand is selling out. Even yesterday, if you go down and look, it was full day, and everybody seems to walk out of there with a smile. So that investment's been huge, and it's a regional draw. We're pulling the Placer data, and I'll be happy to share some of that with you at the next meeting. But it's certainly a regional draw. We're pulling from as far away as Warsaw and Crestwood and Scottsburg and North Vernon, and then all the way up to Aurora. So again, we're pulling regionally to Crystal Beach, and that experience.
It's gotta help the hotel down there too,
We hope.
because they don't have